been way too long since I last said this. Hello and welcome back to It's Just My Opinion. 2013 is now in full swing, and for those of you who are waiting patiently for the end of the world, I can tell you this. I have personally lived through 5 predicted apocalypses, so next time will come around soon. Don't panic. Now, this show, It's Just My Opinion, was meant to satiate requests that I wouldn't be able or willing to do a full review for, and as such, I haven't done it much, because I'm lazy. So there's a lot of albums I haven't gotten to. And you guys have been giving some requests, so I think it's only fair that I actually give them a look. So, to catch myself up for the new year in this show, I'd like to do a quick wrap-up of all the requests I didn't get to this year. Now, I did look, and I tried to get every single request. But before I go into the reviews, I wanted to talk about this past year. The past year rocked. I got so much good music, did a lot of really fun reviews, had a couple of interviews, got a whole bunch of followers, and you guys helped me keep sane. I really mean this, I'm not pandering. One of the selfish reasons I started up It's Just My Opinion was that at the end of the day, I listened to more heavy metal albums, and you guys requested some really good stuff. Now, I've whittled down my favorites from this year to 3 albums. 3 albums that I spent ridiculous amounts of hours listening to. So, here are my top 3 for the year. Number 3 is Devin Townsend's Epic Loud. I'm not going to say a single thing about why I love this album here because I spent 20 minutes on it already. So please, check out my full review there. There's a little bit of rambling and a dance break about 20 minutes in, but you'll get the message. It's in there somehow. Number 2 is Nightwish's Imaginarum. I loved everything about this album. The tone, the arrangement, the vocals, the incredible leaps in direction, and I was singing along to the whole thing, and Storytime is still stuck in my head. And my number 1 album for 2012 is Sabaton's Carolus Rex. I don't think I really mentioned this in my Riff Mag review, but I absolutely love this album. The lyrics really reflect the moods and feelings of the figures rather than just the facts. See, my favorites on the album are probably Carolus Rex, which talks about Carolus's personal viewpoint from taking the crown, A Lifetime of War, which talks about how much the wars of his father almost crippled his nation, and Long Live the King, which deals with the retrieval of his body and the turmoil of the nation in picking its new leader. In addition, the vocals are astoundingly emotional, the guitars are powerful and changing in tone to fit every song perfectly, and altogether the band sounds like the background to a war epic. In my opinion, it is the best whole album to come out in 2012. I loved every second of it. Sabaton's Carolus Rex. To catch myself up for the new year, I'd like to do a quick wrap-up of the requests that I didn't get to do this year. So these will be short, and I will miss a few suggestions, so if you'd like me to expand on anything, or you'd like to find out what I thought on one that I didn't mention here, please leave a comment on my Facebook page. Now let's get to the reviews, and I'm not doing this in any particular order, I just looked at all the requests and wrote them down, so here we go. Let's start with All That Remains. As time goes on, I get less and less interested in All That Remains, and this is the epitome of when a great heavy band doesn't really stick to their guns. It's really lame, unimpressive, and they're still a good band. I saw them open for Dethklok this year. They're good live, but this is just overproduced, uninteresting music. And also, Phil Labonte needs to shut the hell up from time to time, keep himself out of trouble. Speaking of Dethklok, this one is not as catchy or enjoyable as the other 2. Definitely not. Is it still good? Hell yes, I friggin' love this band. Gene Oglin continues to show us what happens when God gifts you with the most amazing drumming ability in the world, and the dueling guitars, which I'm an admitted sucker for, are mesmerizing. Also, the video for I Ejaculate Fire is awesome. Please check out Dethklok if you get the chance to see them live. I love Dethklok. Dethklok rules! Kill me! Camelot is definitely one of those love 'em or hate 'em bands. Me, I love everything I've heard from them, but it hasn't really been a lot. But from what I remember, it took me a few tracks to remember that they have a new singer. It sounds almost exactly like another Camelot album without really paying attention, and that's not exactly a bad thing. It just means that it won't stand out too much. The ending song does make up for it, no. Just give it a listen for Prodigal Son. I will will say this, I like this one a lot more than anything I've heard from these guys. I will also say this, I'm still not a fan. I think the singer is incredibly irritating when she isn't singing. She drowns out everything else that the band has going. There are some times where I can't even tell what the tempo is, but that's all I hear when I listen. I just hear the singer. And I like the new sound for the band. I never liked In This Moment, but the industrial aspects, I think they add a lot of flavor to the band they absolutely need. And, like, I love the middle of Blood, where it breaks down into the guitar bridge, because you don't hear the singer. So next time I'd love to hear them balance out the levels a little bit, but yeah. In This Moment is still not my cup of tea. This album got me to get into Silosis' entire discography, and after one quick listen for everything, I gotta tell you, this is their best. It's so powerful and angry, I love it. It reminded me a lot of metalcore bands I've listened to my entire life, but with all the good elements taken out and an amazing power riff backing it. Seriously, check it out.
All eyes on me, gather all who believe.
More people requested this one than any other one I've worked on in a really long time, and here's my opinion. I really hate the singer. He's incredibly annoying. The sound of the band itself isn't bad. It's very unguided, more techno than I'm used to, but all in all, I don't think I'm going to be putting a lot of stock in this one. Also, it sounds like the background music for a Sonic the Hedgehog game. Christmas album. I loved every track on this EP. I love Christmas music when it's done right, and this was done right. Plus, the updated version of Carol of the Bells sounds awesome. And when are they going to make a regular album again? Just 5 songs? Come on, man, give us more. This was awesome. I haven't heard a single Wintersun song that I haven't liked, and this album keeps that mentality going strong for me. I love the keyboards, I love the pacing, and every song is different. Definitely check it out. I gotta tell you, I really have trouble picking out one Inslave song from another. For this one, the only instrument that really stuck out for me was probably the drums, because I think the guitars are a little too muddled together. I don't think there was all too much to make this album stand out when compared to the other Enslaved albums, but it was gloomy, loud, and I love the vocalist, so hey, if that does it for you, go for it. Down is one of my favorite bands. I may even like them more than Pantera now that I think about it. That being said, it took me 2 listens even as a fan of theirs to really like this, but when I did get into it, it was amazing. Phil sounds just as good as ever, and the sounds are down and dirty southern metal. It's just the way I like it. Again, why only 4 tracks? I said I'm not a huge fan of death metal, but Napalm Death, they're awesome. I love the drums on this album more than anything, even though I felt like they kind of drowned out the other instruments a tad, which is a shame, because some of the other instrumentation is fantastic, like the saxophone squeal on the track Everyday Pox. Is that the same guy who's done the stuff for Isan's albums? Well, it's still good, even if I do find Barney's vocals a little mismatched sometimes, but I felt that way with every Napalm Death album I've gotten my hands on and still enjoyed it. This is very inconsistent from these guys. I mean, I kind of liked it, but there was a sudden change in style between every song that made it seem very disconnected. Like, one song was a very fast power metal track, and the next one would be some Black Label Society sounding stuff. It was a little distracting, but yeah, it wasn't bad. Elvenking Rules. I know this now, I've never heard them before, but this album is awesome. There are some times when I don't like the singer. He reminds me of a hair metal singer that was thrown in a folk metal band, but a lot of the choruses and folk elements more than make up for it.
Rise, my brothers, we are blessed by steel. In my sword I trust. Arm yourselves, the truth shall be revealed. In my sword I trust.
I was told by a fan who's been with the page almost since it started that I could not skip this one. And to Miss Rockataka, I have to say thank you. This album rules. Folk metal is one of the only genres you can fist pump to and it doesn't seem douchey, and I was doing it a lot to myself while I was doing this one. In My Sword I Trust is definitely up there with Into Battle with one of my favorite Inslave songs. The whole album sounds awesome. Check it out. Ive Oaks, another band that I never really listened to, but I really enjoyed this one. I think what I love the most about it is the singer. He's very deep, very full of emotion, and even though I can't tell what the hell they're talking about, I know good music when I hear it. The guitars are very thrashy, too, in both the riffs and the solos, which is a really refreshing change. God help me, I like this one. I know Amure's kind of dropped off in quality lately, especially with the last couple albums, but then again, maybe I'm just growing up. But this album does sound like they're trying new things, experimenting a bit, and that's really all that matters. Although it sounds still very generic-y, breakdown-y, as if that's an adjective. They have songs about Ryu and Thanos. The metal nerd in me is appeased. Why the hell didn't I talk about this? I love Overkill. I got into them very late in the game, but god damn it, all their stuff rocks. I've been playing Electric Rattlesnake over and over since this album came out. Is Electric Rattlesnake another way of saying vibrator? Never mind. Maybe I'm just giving it too much thought, but it's very, very good. It's a well-rounded album from these guys. Seriously, check out Overkill if you haven't.
Your words are weak and pathetic, and when you speak, you say you're desperate. For attention, you won't get.
Never been a huge Impending Doom fan. Nothing against them, I just never really gave them a listen. And now that I have, I will say they're very good. They seem to be using that quick cut riff method that Caliban's been using for a while, and Imure's kind of capitalized on, but it's not too distracting. And also, the videos for the songs they have as singles are awesome. Especially that one with the demon. I think it was for the song Deceiver. So yeah, check that out. Creator covers Number of the Beast. If that's not a reason to check this album out alone, I don't know what is. But the rest of the album is really good too. Phantom Antichrist is a great track. So is Civilization Collapse. I'm glad these two are the singles. They give a pretty good example of what this album sounds like. Awesome sounding classic thrash with some cool modern tones thrown in. This is definitely an album you have to sit down and give a hard listen, and when you do dedicate the time and listen to them, the atmosphere they create with the music is incredible. Very gloomy, very technical, and above all, has a mesmerizing feel to it. Seriously, put aside an hour and just give this an uninterrupted listen. And finally, there's Peripheral. I like Peripheral a lot. In addition to meeting the singer a few years ago at that New England Metal and Hardcore Festival, I like how they're able to sing on a metal record without coming off as too whiny. A lot of bands, when they try and do that, they come off too weak, they come off too high-pitched, and these guys really pull it off. And in terms of the tone, a lot of their guitar parts remind me of Within the Ruins, and that is far from a bad thing. I found myself playing The Gods Must Be Crazy a lot since I got this album. Definitely check it out. Now, before I go, I do want to say thank you to my friends who have helped me out with the show for the past year and a half, especially to Matt, who's done some great acting parts and filmed me at every convention I've gone to for the page. I wanted to thank Dan and Mike for giving me some voice parts, and of course, I want to thank my friend Teresa, who's currently working on some awesome title cards for the show. You guys all rock. I also wanted to mention a few fans of the page who have their own review shows, so you can check them out for yourself. First off is Phoenix from Phoenix Rising, who happens to mention my show in every video she's done so far. You can check out her page here, where she has a list up of her favorite songs of 2012, most of which would make my list as well. Then there's Anthony, who hosts a show called Metal Monday. He's a lot more in-depth about the musical attributes of the albums he reviews, and he's posted a couple of them to my actual Facebook page, so you can check him out here. And finally, there's my friend Dan over at Adamans Templum. He hosts a video game review show where he talks about mostly hard-to-beat video games. You can check out his page here. He's also working on a few Let's Play series, and once we get the mics all figured out, I may actually join him on those.
Oh, Clown loving that bitch!
Damn it! All of my hate! No, I'm gonna sit this in a corner, keep playing, I'm gonna drive to your house and punch you in the face.
I may actually join him on those. So from the bottom of my heart, guys, I want to thank you all for making 2012 awesome. Here's hoping 2013 will be just as good, if not better. And as if you needed the reminder, this is Pat from the Guest Nation, once again reminding you that life is too short to listen to bad music.